number one thing that you need to know heading into birth? Well, we're going to talk about that today. This video is for you pregnant moms who feel like you're white knuckling through the pregnancy. You're doing everything right. You're making the appointments, taking the vitamins, you're all prepped up and everything is good. But nobody is addressing how stress that you carry in your body on a daily basis is going to affect the birth outcome. And you deserve more than a generic advice. So in this video, you're going to discover how stress hormones directly impact your baby's brain development and why your nervous system is like an air traffic controller for your entire pregnancy. And what actually happens to your body and your baby's body during birth. And there's a missing piece of the prenatal care that's going to change everything for both you and your baby. But first, I want to share with you two separate birth stories, and I want you to see the difference. Now, the traditional birth experience for women, it's very predictable. You get pregnant and you celebrate. For many women, you've struggled with conception. You may have even dabbled with treatments, IVF, hormones, different variables. Once you conceive, you're all stressed out. You don't know what's going on. You have zero support. Nobody's empowering you. So you go to your doctor, you get appointed a OB, and you start going through a regimen of different tests. Every time you go to the hospital, you show up, they do more testing, and many times there's interventions that are occurring. Nobody shows you how to have a successful birth. Very far and few actually have a birth plan. So you go through this whole process. It seems like a 9-month disease in most situations, meaning you're going to the doctor, you're the only person in a hospital without an active disease, and there's zero support. So what happens is then you go into active labor. You rush into the emergency room, you go to your doctor's appointed room, and you're going through these areas. You have an epidural, you have Pitocin, you have an intervention, your baby comes out, there's challenges with co-regulation, challenges with latch, there's a colicky presentation, you're stressed out. I want to share a story with you that is very common to this. A woman named Amanda. She came into the office, this was her second pregnancy. Now, with her first pregnancy, there was a lot of intervention. There was an emergency C-section, baby got stuck in the canal, cord wrapped around the neck, similar situation that we hear all too common. We're not going to discuss those variables today, that will be for another video. But Amanda, in this new pregnancy, she was really looking for a different process. But as we sat down, there was no steps being incorporated for her outcome to be any different. So of course she's going through these areas. She's diagnosed as a geriatric pregnancy because her age is over. She's in her mid-30s. She's going through the process. Her husband has zero involvement with her birth experience at all. She has no in-laws. She has no mom to really walk her through this. So she's just doing it by herself. She had some issues with gestational diabetes. She had some blood pressure issues and preeclampsia. And as she's going through her chiropractic care, she's looking for support. But she came in her third trimester, and that's already a lot of momentum. So of course, going into the doctor's office, going in for her birth, and she has more interventions. And it's not because her body is not capable of birthing this child in the appropriate manner, but it's because there is no preparation and support for getting her body to function properly. And then we have another person. I'm going to talk to you about Haley. Now, this person right now goes through and has a midwife. The midwife is empowering her. She's walking her through these areas, receiving chiropractic care prior to conception, very healthy lifestyle, very minimal stress levels, a very specific birth plan. Now, from this, the midwife allows her to be in a birthing center, has a natural delivery, no interventions, no epidural, no Pitocin, beautiful birth experience, spouse and family in the birthing center with her. Amazing experience. Baby comes out, immediately goes on and latches, perfect breastfeeding techniques, has a lactation consultant just as a backup. And the baby's thriving. No challenges, no pediatrician appointments, just letting this little baby grow like God's design is set up for it. Now, the change of all of this is really the preparation, because every person's body is designed to have a healthy and natural pregnancy. Very few pregnancies actually require emergency involvement, meaning that pregnancy is natural. But in our society, we're so dysregulated, so stressed out to the max, and our health is so poor prior to conception that it is very difficult to have a healthy birth experience. So with all of these areas, we want to support you moms to have the best experience. And in the best world, I would build your health up years before conception. But in reality, that doesn't happen. So with this, we see these drastically different experiences. And it's not just because of the provider, it's not where they were born, it's ultimately the state of mom and baby's nervous system. That is the master control center that we see. So your nervous system, mom, is your baby's first teacher. Yes, you are teaching that baby's nervous system how to be strong and resilient. Think of this nervous system as their air traffic controller. And it controls everything, every organ, muscle, and tissue. It coordinates the heartbeat, the digestion, the sleep, the immune response, the stress reactions. It does all of it without you even having to think about it. Now, your autonomic nervous system, which is the automatic part, has two parts. You got the sympathetic system, which is your gas pedal, and this activates when you respond to something stressful. And then the parasympathetic system is like the brake pedal, and it helps you regulate, digest, and rest. It's a recovery system. When everything works right, you press the gas pedal when needed and the brake pedal when necessary. But chronic stress causes these two pedals not to be used at the right times. And more importantly, not able to flow from one to another in a natural state. Now, this is important for birth, so important for birth, because it isn't just a physical event. It's not just about sucking it up and having the baby come out. It's a neurological cascade of events. Labor actually begins with a parasympathetic dominant state. Oxytocin, which is the hormone that starts these contractions, is released most effectively when mom feels safe and calm. Now, are you going to feel safe and calm in a medical environment, hospital room, laying on your back, gown with that itchy, cracky paper on your back that's on the table? Absolutely not. So there's so many different stages with this, and that's why it's so important to have a team of different providers. You have your doula, you have your midwife to empower and educate and to help through the process. You have your neurologically based chiropractor. You have all these people helping you through this. Now, as labor progresses to pushing, the nervous system shifts to a sympathetic activation, but only at the right time. So that neurological cascade of events has to be triggered appropriately. Now, when mom enters birth already stuck in stress mode and can't flow from the gas pedal to the brake pedal, the sequence gets disrupted. And research links safe birth environments to shorter labors, increased oxytocin release, and lower pain. Now, after the birth, the baby's first regulation comes through co-regulation with mom. Skin to skin, eye contact, heartbeat rhythm. If mom's nervous system is all dysregulated, that's going to cause some issues in this co-regulatory rate. And this loop is going to be harder to establish, which means mom and baby, if you're under the chemical influence of epidurals, Pitocin, all these other stressors, this is going to cause dysregulation in both people's systems and bodies. And that co-regulation is really difficult to accomplish. Now with this, there's missing pieces to this prenatal care puzzle. Standard prenatal care monitors your baby's growth. It screens for complications and it tracks development. This is all essential work, but there is usually no assessment of your nervous system function. Nothing and nobody teaches you how to be healthier and more resilient. You get told that, reduce your stress, without any way to measure whether your stress is regulated or stuck, meaning that they don't have any objective analysis or measurements. Now, this is where neurologically focused chiropractic care fills in this gap. Through the Insight neurological scans, including thermal imaging, surface EMG, and heart rate variability testing, we can objectively measure how your nervous system is functioning while you're pregnant. It's safe, it's non-invasive, it doesn't harm anybody. Then we use very specific and gentle adjustments which help to restore the balance between your gas pedal and brake pedal orientation. So when your nervous system is regulated, your baby's developing system learns to regulate itself as well. So it's a beneficial 2-for-1 benefit. You cannot control every variable of pregnancy and birth. So sometimes life-saving interventions are needed, and we are so grateful for those. But even when those are needed, we need your nervous system to know what to do. And we know that before birth comes, we can choose to support the one system that influences everything else, and that is your nervous system. Earlier in pregnancy is better, but it's never too late to start. So if you're struggling with answers, you can't quite get real data from your doctors about how your nervous system is functioning, our team at Maximize Chiropractic would love to help to support you and your baby's development. Click on the link in our bio, comment below, or send us a DM. Schedule your neurological insight scans today. Your baby's nervous system is being shaped right now at this moment. Let's make sure it's learning a calm and peaceful environment so that both of you can be successful with this birth experience and thrive with health and improvement over the course of time.